Welcome to Beyond Broken Hungry. Juggling your career, relationships, nutrition, fitness, finance, try to pursue your dreams, and stay sane can be a bit of a struggle. With the help of expertise from a variety of wellness experts and tips and tricks from everyday people, this podcast is here to share it all to make this journey we call life just a little more balanced. I'm stumbling towards wellness right alongside you, and I'm so happy to have you come along this journey. With that in mind, let's jump into this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. I know it's been like 2 months, but I've been trying to get my ish together so that I can actually be consistent and get good quality content for y'all. I have been booking some guests for 2023. So there will actually be some expertise and not just me rambling and giving you motivation. And I was going to try to do this like really thought out, written, like notes, whatever episode. And you know what I thought? I'm constantly on my Instagram and, TikToks and everything else telling you that if you want to do something, just start. Just do it. And what am I doing? Waiting for it to be perfect? Like, no, this isn't how that's supposed to go. This is for you. This is also to hold me accountable to stuff. So, welcome back. And, and even if this is just like a 10-minute, 8-minute little quick motivator for you, I want to give that to you each week so that you have that. You can run with it. You can feel motivated. You can feel some inspiration. If you're, I know that whenever I am in a weird rut and I start listening to some motivational podcasts or, I have a handful of Christian podcasts that I listen to all the time to really help me step back into my faith. And I always feel really good and really motivated and really stoked after I listen to those. And I want to be that for you. I want to be that for the person who is listening. So I am gonna just stop feeling like I have to be perfect and like it has to be this amazing thing and just get it done for you. So a couple updates for those of you who haven't been following me on social media. I officially am let me say this the right way. I am officially a CrossFit level 1 trainer. So I passed my exam. Whoop, whoop. And I've been coaching officially at Graham. I started coaching a couple classes like before I took the test and was like officially official, which kudos to, I guess, myself for the fact that the Grahams trusted me enough to go ahead and put me on the schedule without being certified. But yeah, it's been going great. I love it. I was doing a little too much. And this is, we'll get into this too, but this is one of those reasons why I wasn't really consistent with the podcast because I overloaded my schedule. I put too much on myself and I'm like, yeah, sure. I can work a full-time job, and a full side job and have all my side hustles and have a podcast and also coach 5 days a week. Yeah, that seems right. Y'all. Sometimes I do it too. I put too much on my plate and then I'm like, well, this thing I guess is going to be set aside. And then that's what happens with that. So officially a CrossFit coach, very excited about that. Coaching has been going really well. I'm learning a lot as well as an athlete. And right now, as far as like my nutrition journey goes, I lost my goal for 2022 was to lose 10 pounds on the scale. And I'm not talking about just what the scale says. Like I'm talking about doing a full BMI scale, tracking my fat, tracking my muscle, tracking my dehydration, tracking all of the things. And that was my goal for me to lose 10 pounds. And I did. And I'm super excited about it. I feel really, really good. It's not just about like losing the weight. It's just getting my hormones in check, bringing down inflammation. Like that was really what I was going for. I wasn't like, oh my God, I need to lose 10 pounds. It was really just like, let's get this inflammation down. Let's get our hormones right. Let's heal our gut. And then everything else just kind of falls into that. That's what we talk about all the time, right? Doing those little things and thinking more about your health rather than, oh, I want to be skinny. And all of that is just going to fall right directly behind you as long as you're doing what it takes to put your health foot forward. So that's been awesome for me. That was my goal for 2022. For the rest of the year, I am just maintenance mode. I'm not trying to tighten up. It's just unrealistic. Maybe for some people it is realistic, but for me, it wasn't going to be something that was realistic for me to continue to be, really, really, really dialed in and, doing tracking every single thing, even on the weekends. And although I still do that for the most part, I'm not stressing, not that I was really stressing myself out either, but I'm not trying to take it to the next level, if you will. I want to take it to the next level, and I will after the New Year's over. But with all the parties, Halloween and Thanksgiving, Friendsgiving, Christmas, New Year's, of course, y'all know I'm in another wedding every other weekend, I feel like. I've got a wedding on New Year's Eve, so that's a double whammy. And not that traveling or going out to parties and things like that is an excuse to eat and drink like an asshole, because it's not. But I'm not going to put so much pressure on myself that it starts to stress me out. Because once you start to do that, once you're like, oh man, I'm just really trying to stay on track. And yeah, you can stay on track and go to these parties. But if you're going to these parties and you're hanging out and you're with your friends and you're telling yourself, I can't eat something, I can't drink something, that is where the mental fuck up, for lack of better words, is going to come into play. That's when you're going to start to really trip yourself out and be like, okay, then the journey becomes not fun. And it becomes not balanced because you're making yourself mentally ill from it. So, with all the traveling I was going to be doing and I am going to be doing, I was just like, you know what? It's just maintenance mode. So I'm still tracking. That's just something personally. I know I was doing it and then I wasn't doing it and then I was doing it again and then I wasn't doing it. It got to a point where it was unhealthy for me. So I stopped for a little bit and started doing more intuitive eating and practicing the plate method. And then I kind of felt like, okay, you know what? I'm going to give it one more try. And my nutrition coach, Nikki, she told me, okay, if you're going to do this again, let's do this. Let's prioritize staying in a caloric deficit and reaching your protein. She said, don't even worry about your carbs. Don't worry about your fats. Don't stress out about those numbers, but reach your protein and stay under your calories. And it was just like that advice right there really just clicked for me, because I was so stressed about trying to balance, like, oh, okay, well, I got to stay under my carbs. And if I go over my fats and and now it's just like, I have negative numbers in my carbs almost every single day, maybe 10 to 15. But I just look at that like, oh, well, cool. I'm going to have more energy tomorrow. Or if I worked out, and my post-workout has carbs in it. So I almost always go over, especially the days that I'm working out and taking my post-workout. But instead of being like, oh my God, I went over my carbs, what am I gonna do? I go, oh, okay, cool. Like, well, I had a great workout in, and that formula is meant to help with my muscle recovery and help with the gains outside the gym anyway. So it's totally fine that I'm over my carbs today. Don't really care. So I've really gotten into this mindset of like, I don't care. Like, I'm going to track it for the data, even on the weekends, even if I go 1,000 calories over what my tracking is. Like, if I know that I'm traveling, but I'm tracking, that's data. Because you know what? When I see that negative number, I'm going to go, oh, okay, well, this was my day. So tomorrow I'm going to just be right on track again. I'm not going to really go over. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I'm not going to eat like an asshole. It's just data. So I've been really enjoying being back on that, having the control. It's actually kind of fun. It's not stressful for me anymore. And honestly, y'all, if I'm meal prepping and planning for the week, I eat the same thing almost every day anyway. Minus maybe I switch out a vegetable, or my snack is different, or, something is a little bit different on a day-to-day basis. But for the most part, my lunch and dinner essentially are the same. Sometimes I go to breakfast with my work. Sometimes we go to lunch. Sometimes I get coffee with a girlfriend. So all of that kind of goes into play, but I typically know that ahead of time so that I can plan for that. So that's been really going well. So for the rest of this year, we're just maintaining. We're staying at the gym, we're getting consistent movement, and that's just how it's going for that. And then in the new year, I'm moving in with Doug. I'm sure he's so excited. We are going to be, his parents are going to be here in about a week. So we're going to be going through some of this stuff to see what we can put in storage, what we can kind of get rid of. I am a big memorabilia person. I also am a big purge person. So there's some things if I keep it, if I've had something since I was 10 years old, it's because it's very important to me. But there will be days that literally I go through my closet and I'll be like, I don't need this. Why is it here? Or in my kitchen or something like that. So I don't feel it's my place to go through Doug's house and do that for him. So I want to make sure that there's nothing that like is a family, whatever, something important. I mean, y'all, I have a blanket that my great grandma gave me when I was 3 years old that literally has holes in it. So I'm not going to try to throw away anything that may or may not be super sentimental, but that's the next thing that's happening. Super excited about that. So I'm going to sign off, but I wanted to really get this going again and just let you guys know that if you want to start something, just do it. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. It can be balanced. And next week, Lola's barking. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what I do when I travel and the mindset that I go into my trips and how I balance my food and movement and all that. So hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I'm excited to be back. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode of Beyond Broken Hungry. If you aren't already, be sure to subscribe to Beyond Broken Hungry wherever you get your podcast so you can get notified every time a new episode drops. It would also mean the world to me if you rate, review, and share the podcast too, so more people can join the BBH tribe. Follow this podcast on social media at Beyond Broken Hungry to interact and see how I'm stumbling toward wellness one day at a time. And most importantly, tune back in next week for another episode. See you then.